welcome to another lawn mowing live stream. It is Wednesday, July the 16th, and it is a scorcher of a day. Super, super hot. Um, this is the Heritage House. Going to be mowing with the Navigator. Let's get into it. Let me turn the camera around. And I've been having to make sure that I'm really hydrated. See all the empty bottles and stuff there between Gatorade and ice water and stuff. It's been so hot. So this is I call it the Heritage House. Really cool story behind this house here. Let's do a walk around. So this is a new client for me this year. This is new sod that was all laid on here. And it goes all the way around the house, wraps around. And then around that side over there. I call this the Heritage House because this is actually, as you guys know from watching my videos and stuff, my company name is called Cloverdale Mowing. This house was owned by one of the original pioneer families to the area. And in fact, the original family that lived in this house is the family that, sorry, just the noise of the big truck passing by. The original family that lived in this house is the family that is responsible for naming this area Cloverdale. So really cool history. This house is about 115 years old. And this property was originally bought in 1890 by that family. And the house was built in 1904. So kind of neat history there to be, the owner of a company called Cloverdale mowing the house whose family was responsible for naming it Cloverdale. So kind of neat. There's lots of neat history in the area I live in with houses like that are dotted around and still preserved and on like heritage registries and stuff. So that's kind of cool. So with this one, I usually have been starting, the first few weeks I was mowing this with the 21-inch mowers. As you can imagine, it was taking a long time, especially being new sod. I was cutting it, it was growing like 8 inches tall each week, and I was cutting it down to 4, which was the tallest the mower would go to. It was still taking me quite a bit of time. There's also this little area above there, top area, and ironically when I showed up today the sprinklers were on, so it's soaking wet up there. So we'll leave that for the end because it is scorching hot, so maybe it'll dry out. But yeah, originally when I first started mowing this one, I didn't want to put the Navigator or big mowers on it because it was all brand new soil and sod and stuff, and didn't want to kind of disturb it all and rut it and stuff like that. As the weeks have gone on, I moved from the 21 to the 36-inch turf tracer, and then the last couple weeks I've been using the Navigator, and the lawn has been slowing down in growth finally. So that's a good thing, because those first few weeks using the 21 with it growing up to 8 inches a week was just crazy. So I was able to get it down now to about 3 inches the last couple of cuts. My goal is to get it down to 2.5, which matches what I mow all the other lawns, but it's been heavily watered, so there's a lot of thatch already built up in it. You can see a lot of areas there, so currently I got the deck set at 2.5. I think that's going to be too much to take off. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go to at least the 3 inches that I did last week. So, gotta lift the deck and put it 1 notch. The manual height adjustment is a bit of a pain because these decks are so heavy. So essentially, there's always a good chance of ending up with a knuckle injury trying to pull these little pins out. Alright, so we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes from that top hole. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes is 3 inches. So that's what I cut it at last week. But you'll see how when I cut it, it's going to look all yellow. And it's just because you can see inside of it. There's like so much thatch and stuff in there already. It was just like heavily fertilized. Apparently, the guy who installed the sod, I saw him one day because he was doing the patio as well. And he said they put a bunch of fertilizer and stuff in the soil, like mixed in as well. So, and then between that and being watered like every day, it's just a little bit too much. But we'll see what we can do here. You guys have a flat top. Normally I trim first, but since I'm just starting again only a few times now that I'm using the Navigator, I am mowing first so I can see how close I can get, and then I'll trim at the end, and then that way I can kind of learn the limits of this machine in these little kind of tighter areas and stuff, and around these rock borders, to kind of get used to how much I need to trim. This little section here is getting over that with the sprinklers as well, so I can kind of wet. Yeah, you can see the wheels are getting soaking wet, these front wheels. So, it's unfortunate, the sprinklers should be on in the middle of the day. It's like the hottest part of the day here, but you can see how it's kind of taking a yellowy kind of look there because you're just exposing a lot of that thatch from overwatering, over fertilizing. You can see the border there, like how much it grew just in a week. And crazy. This lawn has been fighting me every week. It's not want to slow down and grow. I was telling the owner, I said to him, "You're lucky that I love your house. I love like the history behind the house. Otherwise, I might have given up on this one. The amount of growth that you can overwater." Yeah, the 3 is good, I guess, 3 inches. So I'd like to get it down to 2.5. Maybe as it slows down some more towards August, able to get down to 2.5 inches. And then that way I don't have to mess with the deck. Everybody or 2.5 inches. How I kind of deal with the manual decks is kind of trying to get everybody on the same line. See if I can set the camera, tripod. It has a different angle, different view. Last week, I think I might have inadvertently hit a rat that was in this lawn that I didn't see because I was mowing around this section here and I noticed a rat lying on the ground there, but it was alive. But it wasn't like running away from me and the machine. And as I got closer to it, then it started trying to escape, but I noticed that it was pulling its body with its front legs only and its back legs, and I could actually see its back feet were dragging behind its body, so I think maybe, I don't remember seeing a rat or anything. I might have driven over it and either squished it or something and broken its spine. And maybe paralyzed it because it was not using its back legs. And it managed to pull itself into that forested area there. Yeah, it's weird, even though it's a rat, rodent, I kept thinking about it all week. Oh no, it's kind of sad, kind of nasty. Not knowing if it was me that ran over it or something. You guys leave comments. I don't have a phone on me, obviously, it's on the tripod. I haven't been able to do any live streams because I've been doing a lot of the Schaefer beetle control down at the end of mowing. And the stuff is just so nasty. Just take off my headset, put on a respirator, get covered in dust. It stinks so bad. I just didn't want my phone covered in it. Because my feet was on my chest. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to skip on the live streams for the first half of the week. not doing Schaefer vehicle controls. Okay. An opportunity to do a bunch of screen here. It's a bit. Plus the lawn is a little bit under control. So you're mowing it. It has you guys to the front here. Whole area. Comments or questions from anybody? One person watching. Set you down there. Difficult for me to see the screen. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully you guys can see. If not, I'll come into view in a second here. The sun's glare on the screen is hard to see. But I have rain for a shot. It's not getting me right now. It should pretty soon. We're coming this way just here. I don't know the wise thing. This area here is a little bit tricky because it's got a bunch of gravel that's been piled here for future shed. That's why it's a bit of a bump there. Because of the sun. So we'll see. This is reconnected now, so yeah. I think the phone was overheating because it is a hot day. And it was in the sun there on the tripod. I should have put it in the shade. I forgot. So normally what I do now is I just leave the navigator there. I go grab the trimmer, go do all my trimming, and then usually just go with the navigator at the end around the perimeter to pick up anything from the trimmer. It is smoking hot. Just crazy how warm it is. And I'll just close this because it might be away from the trailer. Yes, if you're just joining the stream now, just mowing this one here. This one I call the Heritage House. I'll put my safety glasses on. So, yeah, I call this one the Heritage House because it's an old house. It's on like heritage status. This property was bought originally in 1890, and the house was built in 1904. So it's 115 years old. This house was originally owned by a prominent family that was responsible for a lot of the development in the area. And they were also, one of the biggest kind of things that they were known for is they actually named this part of the city Cloverdale, which is kind of fun. especially since my company is called Cloverdale Mowing, to have the opportunity to be able to mow this property of one of the original pioneer families, and the family that was responsible ultimately of what my company name is. If you guys have any questions, just leave them in the chat there. Let me know if the stream's working. Seems to be kind of holding up here on my chest versus on the tripod there. It was in the sun. It's having some heating issues. So this is the area that I was telling you about. It's like, see, it's kind of a berm. The owner told me they just piled up a bunch of gravel here, stone and stuff, to make like a foundation base for a shed in the future. And then just laid leftover sod and stuff we had on top. But, so you can see the sod is not doing well on top of the gravel because there's like no dirt. It's all dried up where the gravel is. Yeah, so this is that really cool look, what the house looks like. 115 years old. Pretty darn cool. Obviously, when the original, lots of traffic though, busy road that it's on, which ironically, when it was, the original family here, it would have just been a dirt road and lots of horses and buggies and things like that. Now it's a major road, major busy road. Okay, I can't see the screen at the moment, so I don't know if there's any comments or not. Probably not. There's been a lot of lurkers lately, which is fine. You're not comfortable, but makes it a little bit more interesting with this live chat happening. At least for me, it's always funner. Is that even a word, funner? Alright, now let's go to, let me just take a quick look. No comments. Let's take a walk up the hill and go to the nightmare section. This I call the nightmare section because, well, just look at it. It's up top. There's so many obstacles up here. There's plants with no guards. There's lighting. There's edging. There's pathways. It's overly watered. I can only use the 21-inch mower up here, and it looks terrible every time I cut it. Just because it's just such a terrible layout. I told the owner, and he said originally that it was just kind of a last minute thing because there was like a lot of sod left over from the lawn that he didn't want to waste and didn't know what to do with, so he just ended up putting it up here because you can see the rest of the hill over there is just plants and stuff with no sod. So he ended up putting it up here. So I don't know, I was just telling him, like, this is not a good layout, my friend. For mowing, this is terrible. It takes me so much time just to do this small little top area because of all the trimming. And he said, I know, I know. But said that his wife kind of wanted it like this, and they would just try it. He said, okay. So he just said, just charge me whatever. So that's what I've been doing. Just charging him a bunch of extra for this top section. It is really a pain to deal with this top area here. So it's difficult to mow, to get to, and then the sprinklers have been on every week when I get here. So it's always wet. Ooh, just lost my headphones. On a tree branch. Quite the view up here, though, of the stripes on the lawn with the navigator. Maybe I'll make that my thumbnail. Let's see, maybe we'll capture a screenshot of that. The thumbnail for this. Oh, man. Just so much tedious stuff up here. Solar lights. All these kinds of things up here. And then this side here is not even level. Yeah, the sod kind of rolls down the side there. So, you see how long it took just to trim that? Alright, so if I were to just kind of hold that like that and be like enough to capture a screenshot. And then, you know what, I'll actually do another screenshot after. When I go and do the perimeter, then I'll find actually another spot, maybe mid-lawn for the navigator. And then I'll go up there again and take another look. And see, kind of frame it a little bit better since I got to get on the machine again. Do that perimeter. It is scorching hot. Like scorching hot. What is it right now? It is currently according to my Apple Watch, it says it's 28 degrees Celsius right now. So we'll see. It's 1:56 in the afternoon, so it's just before where it's going to get like peak heat. Yesterday it hit 34 degrees Celsius. So yeah, let's go around the perimeter again. glasses off so I can see a little bit better. My headphone back on. I had it off in one ear. So just going over the perimeter again, just to pick up anything that's from the trimmer. These little lights and things are so close to the head, it's hard to kind of get close to give it a nice cut. You got so much stuff in the way. Trinkets, patio trinkets. This is actually my last Wednesday cut, so I'm going to start on the Thursdays. This one, because it's only 2 o'clock here today. I normally don't go on Mondays, but this week I started doing some Tuesday cuts on Monday to get a head start because of that shaper beetle applications I've been doing. So I'm a little bit ahead of schedule. Just so you can see the mower a little bit better for the thumbnail. We'll go back to the top. See what that looks like. Should be good. And after I publish it, I can just go back and find that portion and then just take a screenshot. Deal with the bends. I forgot to reverse it to put my tail wheel in, but that's okay. Put as much as we can in there. Swan bomb rest. Maybe by next week I can get it down to 2.5 inches. Definitely slowed down a lot, even from last week. So that's good. Oh, it's so hot, man. Just sitting on the seat after you get up is like brutal. I still gotta mow that top section with the small mower. Well, and go. Take a quick break after I load this up. Take a drink. Ooh, it's hot. Even just touching the sides of my black trailer. Scorching. Coming off too. There we go. Whew. See the sweat starting to glisten on my arms. I'll just leave this open. Just be right up top there. Yeah, I think it's maybe I'll put that in there. Yeah, maybe I'll close this just to keep that. Does that help? Yeah, it doesn't really help, does it? I was trying to see if I could keep the the sun off of the batteries, but so let's set this at 1.5, 2, 2.5. Top. And let's put this at 3 because of how wet it is. Match the rest of the lawn for height. Maybe I can put you guys back on the tripod. This section here. Let's see if I can catch all the spots. Oops, sorry about that. Back that way. Yeah, maybe that'll work. Yeah, we'll see. This up top area here is just rough to do. All that trimming. And again, this wasn't like a planned part of the landscape. We just kind of last minute trying to think of what to do with leftover sod. I decided to put grass up here. It's not even leveled, but it's so lumpy because it was originally just garden beds, plants. And it's just so tedious, all these little areas here. But I have a feeling it's not going to last because there's sod up here that's already drying out. And they water all the time. So it's just not. Wasn't prepped to originally do one up here, so I almost fell down the stairs there. Certainly didn't know where around. Shut the blades off so cross over these stones here. Not worrying about the blades spinning. Let's do our best. So hot. I forgot to take my little drink. Take a break. Take a drink. So we'll have to do that at the end here. Difficult. The sun takes a lot out of you. You have to make sure you're hydrated, not just water, but electrolytes. Otherwise, some issues by the end of the day. TKB the Hammer, welcome. He says, "You're really tempting me to go get this mower. Heard it's heavy for a 21-inch mower. How much heavier than a 2216? The Milwaukee is heavier than a... No, 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 no. This is a feather. This thing is the lightest 21-inch mower I've used. It's only like 80 pounds versus the Honda is like 120 pounds. This thing is a dream to use. I'm telling you, this is not heavy at all. This is fantastic. Completely different. Yeah, no comparison to the Honda. The Honda is so much heavier than this. This is so much lighter duty. This is maybe heavy compared to other battery mowers, like cheap battery mowers, like Greenworks and things like that you might see, like the non-commercial stuff, or like Cobalt, or like all those like box store type brands of battery mower. The Milwaukee is a lot better built than that, but it's still not as built as heavy as, say, like the Exmark Commercial 21 V Series battery, or the Crest Commercial is heavier than this one. So yeah, not in for residential mowers. If you're comparing residential mowers, this is heavier, but for commercial mowers, this is so much. This is like on the light end. Like I said, I think it's like 83 pounds. Try to one hand my tripod here. Looks like we got 16 people watching now. Where were you guys all 5 minutes ago when I was mowing the big lawn over there and laying those stripes with the Navigator? TKB the Hammer. Okay, I got you. Thanks for clarifying that. No problem. Yeah, no, this mower is this mower is one of my favorites to use, simply because of the weight, so much lighter. The other thing that makes this mower really nice is the ergonomics of it. Like, the handle has that slight kind of pitch, so it's more of a comfortable position. Most commercial battery mowers just have like the plain metal tube that comes around here, just a flat tube, which puts your wrists at a more awkward position. This has that slight incline. You got the paddle controls. This has variable speed on the self-propel, but you can also set your top speed. So the variable speed will control up to whatever the top speed you have set there. Usually I have it on between 3 and 4. Right now I've got it right on the 4. So it's about 3/4 of the speed. This mower allows you to use the self-propel without the blade spinning, which is super nice. Like the Exmark Commercial 21 can't do that. It has to have the motor spinning and stuff. So this mower has a ton of great features. It's not perfect. There's other things, like it could really use a true high lift blade for bagging performance in tough conditions and stuff, but it does all right. It's only really a bit of an issue if it's like pouring rain. Grass is like soaking wet. But even here, if you guys watch the stream from the beginning, like the sprinklers were on up here and stuff like that, so this was all wet, and it seemed to do okay. Try to go down this hill here, and again, see, it's so light. I've got one hand on it. I'm not being pulled down the hill by it or anything because it's heavy. It's super light, easy to maneuver. Just gonna put it back on the lawn so I can empty the bag out. I like that it has the like battery indicator right there, so you can see that. Like the Exmark doesn't have that. So there's lots of good things about this mower. This is like the 4th battery mower I've now tested. And they all have something that could be improved. What's ironic is that between all 4 mowers, it's all different things. Each mower is something different that could be improved. So that's kind of funny. So people always ask me, like, which is the best mower? Which is, you've tried this one, you've tried the Exmark, you've tried the Crest, you have the Echo, you have the Milwaukee. you own the crest, you own the thing, which one's the best? And it's like, they're all different. They're all got positives and negatives. They're all different from each other. So it just depends on your situation. And I will say, though, value-wise, if you don't have to mow, like I'm in the Pacific Northwest, so right now is the exception. You heard me talking about how hot and stuff it is today. It's the summertime, so that's normal. Go through drought and stuff. But the rest of the year, 80% of the year, it's raining. So without the high lift blade, that's the only thing where I think this mower is going to struggle, is when we get into the wet season. But if you're in an area where it's just dry all the time, then the Milwaukee, I think, represents probably the best value of all of the battery mowers I've tried for the price that they charge for it. I think it's like $1,000 in the US or $1,100 or something like that. And here in Canada, it's $1,500, $14.99, because it's just the exchange rate. It's like 40% more expensive because of the value of the dollar. And even then, it's a bargain. Especially for you guys that are in dry. If you're in wet locations, then like me, then I might not be able to use that mower when it comes to rain season. We'll see. Just because the blade is not high lift enough to be able to push wet, heavy grass into the bag, and we bag everything here. I see a couple more comments. Let me just find some shade so I can read the screen. Okay, I got you. Verifying that. Did you lose 2 bars just mowing that property? No. This is the... Well, this was only obviously a little spot there, but I have mowed 1, 2, 3, 4. I mowed 4 full properties with that mower already today on those batteries. So on average, I get about 6 to 7 lawns on a set of 2 12 amp hour batteries when it's mowing in the auto mode. So the auto mode basically just starts off in like a low RPM, and then the RPM will automatically increase when it hits like areas where it's like struggling. It feels like the grass is thick or tall or wet, then the RPM will automatically go up. You can also force it. There's like a high lift or high speed mode that just puts the mower in top RPM. But I rarely ever have that. I just always have it in auto mode. It's the same as the X Mark was the same way. It had an auto mode and then a top high speed mode or whatever you want to call it. So no, the battery life on that mower is actually phenomenal. I'm using the Forge batteries, so that might make a difference too. There we go, looks pretty good. But yeah, for some of you guys that are joining me recently, I'm just going to stand in the shade here. This house here, this property, I call the Heritage House. I give a nickname to most of my client properties. This is the Heritage House. You can see the house there, beautiful little cottage style house. This property initially was the entire neighborhood. The family bought, or the original family bought. They bought the property in the year 1890. And this was one of the very first pioneer families that came to my area. And they helped build the area. And they also, like there's a little train station down the road and stuff that they built and stuff. And they were responsible for naming the area that I live in, Cloverdale. And subsequently, it's the name of my company. So it's kind of neat that with this house was built in 1904. So it's 115 years old, and so it's kind of cool that, me, a guy running a company called Cloverdale Mowing, is picked up a client who owns the original house of the family that named the area Cloverdale. So it's kind of cool. In that, I kind of geek out about stuff like that. So this house is being restored. It's pretty neat. They've been working the last few years on the landscaping. For the last 2 years, this was apparently all blackberry brambles, all overgrown. So they took everything out and have been redoing all the landscaping, this berm and stuff, putting all these trees and plants and planting this, the sod and all this stuff. So the house is pretty original. So now their efforts are going to turn to the house. And it's got great bones. It's in an excellent condition for 115 years old. They gave me a tour of the inside, and it's just beautiful. All the old like millwork and stuff. All that old original craftsmanship. I was telling him what's crazy about this house is not only is that it's 115 years old, is that all the wood timbers and framing that was used to build this house is probably thousands of years old, because it's all old growth forest from back then. Like all those details, like the wood trim and stuff under the gables of the roof line, all stuff like that. That wood there is probably thousands of years old. Original virgin rainforest wood from old growth forests. So there we go. That's this one done in the books for this week. And happy to see that it's finally slowing down a little bit. Let's get a drink. I think we're good up here. Did I forget? I can't remember. I got distracted. Did I blow up here? Probably not, eh? Does it need blowing up here? I could use a little bit. Let's grab the blower again. I got distracted giving you guys a tour of the cool house. I can't see the screen right now, though. See if there's any. DKB the Hammer, did they release a high lift blade? I've seen others with it. My other issue is having this on the trailer in the pouring rain. Milwaukee has what they call a high lift blade for this mower, but it's not a high lift blade. If you look through my channel, you'll see a video I did recently comparing the high lift blade and stuff. What they call a high lift blade is actually a gator mulching blade. It's like a dedicated mulching blade. It's got a high lift portion to it in those gator teeth, but I think it's causing some confusion as to what people normally think of a high lift blade to be, as a bagging blade, a straight, flat, cutting edge with big wings and stuff, where that is full on mulching. So I have a video out that I did recently, one of the regular videos, like not live streams, that compares the blades, and I kind of take them on and off and do some mowing with one, and then switch the blade and mow some with the other, and do it with mulching, do it with bagging, switching between the blades. And yeah, so but they don't have a dedicated like bagging blade, dedicated high lift bagging blade, which is what they should be. They should just rename their blade like a high performance mulching blade, and then come out with like an actual true lift bagging high lift blade. Alright, let me take some of this stuff off. Back to the front camera. Holy smokes, it is roasting. Let's see. I don't want to turn the truck, because if I turn the key on the truck, it's going to switch Bluetooth. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. It is way too hot to sit in the truck and talk to you guys, unfortunately. I need to turn the truck on, turn the air conditioning on, but then it's going to switch the Bluetooth away from the microphone, and then you guys aren't going to hear me. So I appreciate you guys all joining in and watching the live stream, especially shout out to DKB the Hammer for putting into the chat. Really appreciate you for not being shy and being engaging there and chatting in the live chat makes it a lot funner for me when I'm doing the live streams if people are using the live chat and asking questions and that sort of thing. So I appreciate that. Appreciate everybody else though. If you just were watching, not ready to participate in the chat and stuff, maybe you guys will in the future. These live streams, as I've mentioned in the past, are always going to be impromptu, not something that I can just do or like schedule in advance, just because there's just so many variables to live streaming, like where you are, cell signal.
So just as just as I was explaining the issues with live streaming and all of the different kind of variables that happen with live streaming, of course, the phone cuts out because it gets too hot. So just one of those things. Again, like I said, I won't be able to uh, broadcast in advance when I'm going to be able to live stream. I just got to kind of do it impromptu. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell, and it'll notify you when I do live streams like this. Yeah, so it just kind of goes to show you what live stream is like when you're doing it out in the field, hot day, phones overheating, cell conditions, all sorts of stuff. So unfortunately, that's how it is with live streaming, and sometimes the phone will cut in and out and stuff because of all those different conditions. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. If you like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Let me know in the comments below whether you guys like these lawn mowing live streams and kind of this interaction day to day with me out on client lawns. Unfortunately, the audio is probably not great right now because of the truck being on. I have to use the air conditioning to cool the phone off so that I can get back to the stream going because the phone was just locked up with a overheating symbol on the lock screen. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. We'll talk to you guys on the next one.